Chapter 1. The World Before Samuel Colt. Before Samuel Colt, every gun had only one shot. One mistake, and you were dead. Imagine standing in the middle of a dusty street in the 1800s. You fire your pistol. Miss. Now you desperately reload while another man walks toward you with a knife. That was reality for centuries. Slow reloads decided battles. Slow reloads decided survival. And then, one inventor changed violence forever. A man obsessed with explosions. A man who went bankrupt chasing an impossible idea. But eventually, his invention became the symbol of the Wild West itself. Cowboys carried it, outlaws carried it, soldiers carried it, and some historians believe this one weapon permanently changed human conflict. But here's the real question. Did Samuel Colt create the greatest equalizer in history, or did he accidentally make the world far more dangerous forever? Because by the end of this story, you'll understand why one tiny spinning cylinder changed civilization itself. Chapter 2. The Troubled Child. Samuel Colt was born in 1814 in Hartford, Connecticut. And from childhood, he was fascinated by destruction. Not normal curiosity, dangerous curiosity. While other children played games, Colt experimented with chemicals, homemade explosives, and mechanical devices. One story claims he accidentally caused an explosion on a raft during one of his experiments. His family quickly realized Samuel wasn't ordinary. He was obsessed. Eventually, his father sent him away to sea, hoping discipline would fix him. Instead, it created the revolver. At 16 years old, Colt boarded a merchant ship called the Corvo, and during the voyage, he became obsessed with one mechanism on board: the ship's steering wheel. As it rotated, it repeatedly locked into position. Smooth, mechanical, precise. And suddenly, Colt imagined a weapon that could rotate ammunition exactly the same way. Chapter 3. The Invention of the Revolver. At the time, nearly every handgun in the world fired only once before reloading, and reloading during combat was painfully slow. Gunpowder, bullet, ramrod, primer. The process could take nearly a minute under pressure. But Colt imagined something terrifying, a gun that could keep firing, again, and again, and again. Back in America, Colt immediately began building prototypes. No engineering degree, no military training, just obsession. In 1836, at only 22 years old, Samuel Colt patented his invention, the revolver. Its genius was simple: a rotating cylinder containing multiple bullets. Every time the hammer moved, the cylinder rotated automatically. Fire. Rotate. Fire again. Today, revolvers seem normal, but in the 1830s, this looked almost futuristic. Some people believed Colt's invention would change warfare forever. Others thought it was unreliable nonsense. Chapter 4. Failure. But despite the innovation, nobody wanted to buy his guns. And Samuel Colt's dream collapsed. Colt's first company failed disastrously. The military wasn't interested. Sales were terrible. People distrusted the complicated mechanism. By the early 1840s, Samuel Colt was nearly bankrupt. His factory shut down. Imagine inventing something revolutionary, only to watch the world reject it completely. Most inventors would quit. But then, war changed everything. Chapter 5. War changed everything. In 1846, the United States entered the Mexican-American War, and during that conflict, Texas Rangers began using Colt revolvers. The results shocked everyone. Against enemies carrying single-shot firearms, Colt's revolvers gave soldiers a terrifying advantage. Instead of firing once and reloading, they kept shooting. The psychological effect alone was devastating. Suddenly, the military paid attention. Government orders flooded in, factories reopened, and Samuel Colt transformed almost overnight from failed inventor into one of America's most powerful industrialists. Chapter 6. The Gun That Won the West. As America expanded westward, Colt revolvers spread everywhere. Cowboys carried them, lawmen carried them, outlaws carried them, travelers carried them. The revolver became deeply connected to survival in the Wild West. One famous quote even claimed, "God created men. Samuel Colt made them equal." Because now physical strength mattered less. Anyone holding a revolver suddenly possessed deadly power, and Samuel Colt knew exactly how to sell that power. He became a marketing genius. He gifted engraved revolvers to politicians, military officers, and famous leaders. He turned his own surname into a global brand. Soon, the Colt name spread across Europe and America. His company became internationally famous, and his factories were revolutionary. Machines mass-produced identical gun parts with incredible precision. This wasn't just changing firearms anymore, it was helping create modern industrial manufacturing itself. By the 1850s, Samuel Colt had become one of the richest men in America. The boy obsessed with explosions had built an empire, but there was still one question left unanswered. Did Samuel Colt actually make the world safer, or far more dangerous? Chapter 7. The Man Who Changed Violence Forever. Samuel Colt didn't just invent a weapon, he changed the balance of power between human beings forever. Before the revolver, most violence happened slowly. After the revolver, people could kill rapidly and repeatedly. Shootouts became deadlier. Crime evolved. Wars evolved. Even American identity began evolving around firearms. Outlaws loved Colt revolvers. So did sheriffs. So did soldiers. His invention empowered ordinary people, but also made violence easier than ever before. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Samuel Colt created both freedom and fear at the same time. His invention became one of the most influential weapons in history, not because it was the deadliest, but because it changed human psychology forever. People no longer feared being outnumbered. They feared whoever could fire fastest. Samuel Colt died in 1862 at only 47 years old. But by then, the world had already changed permanently. His firearms appeared in the Civil War, the Wild West, Hollywood westerns, and eventually modern gun culture itself. And even today, the debate still continues. Was Samuel Colt a genius inventor who protected ordinary people? Or the man who industrialized violence forever? Because before Samuel Colt, most people only had one shot. After him, the world never stopped firing. Outro. If you enjoyed this documentary about forgotten history and inventions that changed civilization, subscribe for more cinematic history videos every week. And comment below, did Samuel Colt make humanity safer or more dangerous?